Global First EZA. Sounds good, doesn't it? Well, it is not the most foreign concept in the Dokkan timeline, I'm telling you. It could happen, and I want to make this video now before it possibly happens. I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time, but there never really seemed like an appropriate time to do this. But now seems like the perfect opportunity because there's already historical precedent, and given the relevance of the current celebration on JP, this could very well become a reality. So hopefully you guys enjoy this theory video, but keep in mind, it's theory, it's speculation, these are my opinions. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. I'd love to know your thoughts, because this stuff is very important to me. When I started playing Dokkan, one of my first SSRs that I ever acquired was this TEQ Vegito Blue, and he has become one of my favorite units in the game as a result. This unit was really good back when he released in 2018 for Global, 2017 for JP. When I started playing in 2019, he was still good. Somebody who could raise attack and defense up to 3-4 times in one turn. Really, really good. But now he has aged. He has shown weakness because of the fact that his defense is virtually non-existent, especially early on. He can get you killed. So why am I talking about this unit getting an EZA? The reason why is because of, like I said, the celebration that is currently being held, but not for Global, but for JP. JP at the moment is in the middle of their Dokkan Festival Android celebration, and for part 1, it's all about androids. They just received the TEQ Android 1718. They might be getting some sort of a future Gohan EZA at some point, who knows? But right now, the Z Future Saga is in full effect over on JP. With this little announcement here, shout out to Air Dokkan, the end date for this Zamasu story event was extended to the end of the year, which means part 2 for the Dokkan Festival Android celebration could mean that there's going to be something related to the Zamasu. The medal dropped from this event could be used for the upcoming part 2 LR. Let's say, for argument's sake, that LR ends up being an LR merged Zamasu. Well then, obviously, part 2 is going to be around the Super Future Saga. What does that tell you? That means that when we're in the Future Saga, there could be some potential additional EZAs. Maybe it is Future Gohan, maybe it's something pertaining to Super. And that's where these two units come into play. And the timing could not be better. Right now, we have officially finished all of the mono-type EZAs, both for Global and JP. Obviously, JP was first. Global got their final EZA on the last celebration, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So now we are officially done with the 120s. We also got the transforming Goku and Frieza getting their EZAs during the 350 million download celebration, and they were also 120 leads, but for Super and Extreme. So the only units that remain are these two, and now that we are slowly moving into Dokkan Festival category EZAs, it seems perfect to give these two units an opportunity to awaken and become relevant again before they are ultimately lost in the shuffle. I feel like right now, before the end of the year, I feel like there's going to be some sort of an EZA for these two units, and the precedent is there. So now let's talk about what happened in the past. These two units, surprisingly, received their EZAs on a Twitter poll. So if you guys don't recall, 2 years ago, December 24, 2019, we had a global Twitter poll to determine which EZA would happen first on Global. Vegito Blue, Goku Black, Rose. Obviously, Global voted Vegito because Vegito's the cooler unit. So people were overwhelmingly voting for this one, and Global ended up getting this EZA, and he got him first. This was one of the most busted EZAs. To this day, this unit is still one of the best TORs in the game. You can fight me on that one. I love using this unit. It's one of the most entertaining units to use. It's so unpredictable. It's one of the most powerful units to use because of the fact that you could potentially do 4 super attacks in one turn and then counter with all of that stacking. It's busted. This unit became really good, seemingly from nothing. The greatly raising attack and defense came from this. Nobody expected that. And then for the passive, attack and defense plus 40% at the start of the turn. Great chance of launching up to 2 additional super attacks, each of which has a chance to become, medium chance to become a super attack. So with these two, plus this super attack, plus a hidden potential super attack, that's 4 super attacks, 4 instances of greatly raising attack and defense on a 40% build here. That's a lot of damage coming in. Plus you can counter and reduce damage received by 40% for normal attacks. This guy was a monster. Also, his ki went up by 1, which is something I want to point out for later on. So, same thing goes for the Goku Rose. Not as tremendous a boost in terms of EZA, but still a very good one. This unit became all about defense. Greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage, greatly lowers defense, and then defense got integrated into the passive. Defense plus 30 up to 180 on the passive, whereas before there was no defense. And there is precedent for that as well, because Rose is kind of known for defense in terms of super attacks. And then for the passive, there could be some sort of a heal factor. There could be some sort of a critical hit booster. Something to that effect, right? So this unit didn't get that. This one got more of the key and the defense side. But for this new unit, there could be something like that, which we'll talk about in just a second. So with this having happened on Global a couple years ago, and since JP is currently about to receive some sort of Future Saga theme on their part 2, here's my proposal. What if JP were to receive said Twitter poll, and they get to vote on which unit they get the EZA for first, Rosé or Vegito Blue? Depending on their results, instead of Global waiting to receive either one of these EZAs in the future, they could do something where JP gets the one, and then Global gets the other one that JP does not vote for. And I think that would be a great thing to do given the time, because right now is around the time that the Rising Dragon Carnival banner is set to drop. And last year, Global and JP shared that with the Super Saiyan 2 LR Gohan. Whether or not they do that again is still to be determined, but along with that, I think it could be a pretty nice touch to also integrate a simultaneous EZA for both Global and JP, one being the unit that JP didn't vote for, while JP gets the one unit they did vote for. So I feel like that would be a really cool idea. Now, let's go quickly into how these two units would look post-EZA. Obviously, like previously mentioned, the Transforming Goku and Vegeta, or Transforming Goku and Frieza, they received their EZAs. They also led Ki plus 3 120%. They became Ki plus 3 130%, but that was for an unconditional leader skill for Superclass and Extreme Class. There was no stipulation that they had to have all types on the team. So because of this extra little piece of cost here, I feel like there needs to be a trade-off that gives this leader skill a little bit more of a boost. So what they could do is they could do either a Ki plus 4 130%, kind of akin to what they did with the previous Rosé and Vegito Blue, or what they could do is give more in the stats department. I'm obviously voting for that. Give this unit an opportunity to stand alone in its own unique archetype. Ki plus 3 140% stats for Super type. Because now that all of the Dokkan Festival categories are starting to release 160 EZAs or maybe 170 Dokkan Festival leads, a 140% Superclass stat round isn't that crazy, I think. I think a 140% is more than fair. So let me know in the comments if you guys agree or disagree with that. Would it be Ki plus 3 140% or maybe Ki plus 4 130%? Anyway, moving on to the passive and the super attack. Raises attack and defense. This could obviously become greatly raising attack and defense. I don't really see much else being changed there. Great chance to launch up to 2 additional super attack, each of which has a medium chance. This could become maybe high chance? Actually, since the Vegito Blue has a medium chance, maybe they could keep that, but I would obviously want for a high chance. Especially since this unit does not have a counter. This unit does have a counter, so it does make sense to give it somewhat of a limiting passive. Medium chance is balanced enough. Whereas for the TEQ Vegito Blue, there is no countering involved here. So if they were to give this guy a high chance, I think that would be fair because this unit's only function is to stack. So if you can do that with much more ease at the cost of losing a counter, I think that's fair. And then for the attack gained over time, they could either focus more on the attack and make him even more lethal, or they could make it a balanced diet of attack and defense. But if they were to give this more attack, they could actually just take care of that defensively in the super attack. Instead of greatly raising attack and defense, they could do raises attack and greatly raises defense. But I feel like that's too far removed from the identity of a Vegito Blue unit. Because every Vegito Blue stacks their attack and defense simultaneously. Let's look at other examples of this. We've got the LR free-to-play Vegito Blue. Greatly raised attack for 1 turn, that's the 12 key. Or that's the 18 key. For the 12 key, raised attack and defense. For the transformed 5-year Vegito Blue, we've got raised attack and defense. Raises defense for 1 turn. Causes Colossal. There's no raising attack for 1 turn, greatly raising defense for 1 turn. So kind of having that asymmetry in the stat growth for those units on the Vegito Blue doesn't quite work. So I would assume they're probably just going to do across the board, greatly raising attack and defense. That is the Vegito Blue. Now, for the STR Rosé, I feel like this one's a lot more open for interpretation. You could do all sorts of stuff here. Like I said before, there's a heal factor that some of the other Rosés have. There's key boosting, there's critical hit boosting. So I guess you can kind of get creative on this one. I don't really know where to begin. Obviously, the one thing that we should add is defense, right? This guy has no defense. So if they were to give him a base passive with extra defense, that would be good. Increasing the effectiveness of this nerf could also be nice. Attack and defense minus 30% for superclass enemies. This, I don't know if they'd really change this. They'd probably want to keep the defense plus 50, or they could go up to 80 or something like that, and maybe include an attack buff. Who knows? And then for the super attack, I would imagine they would probably greatly raise defense for 1 turn, cause immense damage, attack, and defense plus 30% for 1 turn could be a nice little bonus for this unit's super attack. They basically have to make this unit good enough to actually run as a primary rotation unit. Because whenever I run this guy on STR Super Battle Road, he's always on the 3rd slot looking to get out. I never want to keep him on because he can't protect himself. He's a tissue paper. So if they could give him something to make that tissue paper more fortified, I would be absolutely over the moon over. So that is pretty much it for my theory here. Vegito Blue, Rose, Global first. I would want JP to vote for Rose so that Global could get this. I doubt it, but still seems like a pretty good idea. The stage is pretty much set for this. What do you guys think? Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about my theory? Do you agree with the timing of this whole thing? Do you think it's possible? You don't have to agree with the way that I suggest that this happens, but do you think that the timing right now is one that favors something like this happening? And then also, let me know what the sample EZAs could be for these 2 units in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future, and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again, stay tuned, and ours over to Dokkan responsibly.